a lot of the story is me being naive and gullible, only because this could have went left. Like, he wasn't a weirdo, he wasn't a creep, and he didn't harm me. But, you know, my boy at the time, like he said, he could have done that, and I wouldn't have been able to do nothing because, what are you doing? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Chit Chat with Brit Brat. I am Brit Brat, and of course we're going to chat. Today's story, I'm going to tell you about the time that my employee was under the influence, above the influence, inside of the influence. He was the influence and then some. I don't know the specific drug that he was on. Think that I probably went above and beyond. In some cases, people would say that was just a bit too much. But yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so I worked for an organization. I'm not going to disclose which kind, but if you know, you know, whatever. I worked for an organization. I was the assistant manager. This organization also was an organization that hired the people they took care of. They were responsible for housing these people, feeding them, and giving them jobs within the many stores that they owned. Okay, so one of my employees, so background situation, I used to work in another borough. I worked my way up from that borough, and then they made me assistant manager in another borough. This employee, he was a great employee. Like, I never had issues with him. When things started to take a turn, there was like some speculation, which I never heard. Of course, this comes out after the fact. He was using again. And with my experience, which that might be a story time too, with my experience in the past of dealing with someone who, you know, a loved one, you know, on drugs, and just knowing how to confront them. Like I said, we weren't family or anything like that. You know, there wasn't a relationship that we had to be like, but we did have outside of work. You know, we kind of had, like, I don't want to say bonded like inappropriate, because it wasn't inappropriate, but I know of some of the struggles that he has been dealing with, you know, for some time. This one day now, where I work, it's a Saturday. My employee, let's give him Timothy. His name is Timothy for the sake of the story. Timothy's working, you know, normal work. It's Saturday, so like it's kind of dead in the morning, but it starts to pick up for sure. So in the morning time, I didn't see any, you know, he did everything I asked him to do. Like I said, at this point, I'm thinking he's still a great worker. I'm not even thinking maybe I gotta be watching him and all that other stuff, because he's never given me issues. So earlier that day, there was a customer who said, she was like, oh my goodness, the guy back there, he's so sweet, he's hilarious, he had me cracking up the whole time. You know, I'm just like, oh, thank you. Like, yeah, he's a good guy, sweet guy, whatever the case may be. Because that really was, his spirit was he had a great spirit about him. So, you know what I mean? A couple hours after is when things started taking a turn for the worse. Another customer said that she was back there, and she said, hey, the guy back there, he's a sweet guy, I always see him, but today he seems a little off. And I said, oh, really? What do you mean? You know, I would go back there surprised and make sure everything is good, go back there in and out throughout the day, whatever. He seemed regular since the morning time. So I said, what do you mean? What happened? Did something happen? And she's like, no, you know, he was helping me, but he was moving really, really fast. And I was like, he was moving really, really fast. Now, mind you, me being slow to turtle, I don't really know the symptoms of things of when you're on certain things unless it's apparent that you're on something. So I don't really know what you do or how you act when you're like on stuff. Apparently, if I cannot see with the naked eye that, yeah, clearly that person's on something. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'm gonna make sure I, you know, look into that, because she never really said what he's moving really fast. When I'm in a zone and I'm working and I'm flowing, I'm moving. So I really wasn't thinking anything, you know. So I did put that in the back of my head, not knowing that it was something that I had to put in the back of my head. So I went back there. I had a conversation with him, like, hey, you good? He's like, yeah, everything's good or whatever. You know, he seemed normal. I'm like, okay, just making sure you're good, whatever. You need anything? He's like, no, I'm good. All right, boom. So now, maybe about a couple minutes later, an employee comes to me and he's like, Britt, I think Timothy is using something. Like, he's on something. And I was like, I said, I just had a conversation with him. What do you mean he's on something? So she's like, I think he's on something or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. I wind up telling him, hey, somebody come to the front and switch with another employee who was like in my vision, but on the floor, doing what they had to do for work. So I said, you know, switch with him or whatever case or whatever. Didn't make it hot, because like I said, I can't just go off of what people are saying unless I apparently see something. Because if I send him home and then they ask me, why did I send him home, and I don't have no real proof, because, you understand? So I had to make sure that I actually seen something that was like, what the? Okay. So Timothy's now working. Like, he is like busting out the stuff. He's moving quick or whatever case may be. So then he's, like I said, started looking like crazy. So I was like, Timothy, come here. So he's like, what happened? Come here. So I took him like in the back in the cut. And so I'm like, what's going on with you? And he was saying, what you mean what's going on with you? You're not acting like yourself. Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, as we're talking, Sir just goes into like 5 different people. No lie. 5 different people. So I'm like, Timothy, I'm not even going to ask you what's going on. I'm not going to ask any other questions, but you got to go home. So he's like, I got to go home. I said, you got to go home. And I can't have you out working, coming across people. Like 2 people, 3 people already seen you already, and it's raising concern. I can't have you on the floor longer and longer. So that's when Timothy breaks down and starts crying. Mind you, we're not even upstairs in the office, which would have been bad because people could see the office was like upstairs, but there was a big window and you saw right through the office. So it wasn't like anywhere discreet or whatever. So I'm like, what's the matter with you? And he's like, all right, I gotta admit something to you. Like I said, because we had that fake kind of, I don't want to say fake, but we did have a good relationship, working relationship where, like I said, he already disclosed certain things or whatever case may be. So, you know, and once I said I have to send you home just because I don't know and I can't take no chances. They walk in here talking about like my boss is walking here and see something, feel something, or something is not right, and I'm just letting you sit here work, then that's my job on the line. I can't have you stay. So Timothy breaks down to me and he's like, hey, I'm on something. Like I said, as I'm talking to him, he's turning into 5 people. He's like crying, then he's mad, then he's sad, then it was just a confusing. But when he broke down crying, once he seen that I wasn't budging about him having to go home, you know, he broke down. And then that's when you saw the real Timothy. So he starts panicking as if like somebody's chasing him, but like he's trying to stay calm. I'm like, listen, you're at work. And so I'm like, you have to go home. Just go get your stuff. I said, you want me to go get the stuff for you? And he's like, no, I will get it. So I'm like, no, I'm going upstairs with you because my purse was upstairs. Not happening. So I went upstairs with him and we got his stuff. And while I'm upstairs, he's like, I can't get home. So I'm like, what do you mean you can't get home? He's like, oh my God, they're going to get me if I get home. I'm like, who's going to get you? I said, Timothy, you're scaring me. What is going on? I said, do you need me to call the head of, okay, because the background of him. So I told you that he was a part of the group, the rehabilitation group, where they house you, they feed you, they find you a job, and then they put you out into society. He succeeded all of that. He passed all his programs. He got rehabilitated. He got the job. He was doing great at the job that they wound up keeping him, but they allowed him to go on to live his life and find a new place to live and whatever it may be. So he started panicking because he was saying that, you know, if he gets cut off, then he's going to be, you know, have a new place to be or whatever. But he's going to have to find a new job because once they find out what's going on. So I tell him, listen, I can't not do my job. So he understood that, but then he started panicking because he didn't know how to get home. He didn't know how to get home, y'all. So I'm like, what do you mean you don't know how to get home? Mind you, I do not know this borough. First of all, I know the borough I'm from and the borough I live. I don't know any other borough. When I'm going downstairs talking to, there was a guy who works for the company who's been in that specific building, which was the only person who I trust at the time. Because like I said, I was still fake new at this location. Like, he didn't live far, so I knew I had a better chance of trying to, because I really wanted to help him. I didn't want to be like, well, get out, call a cab. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew he explained that it wasn't payday, so he couldn't just call a cab. It was a lot going on with that, and I wasn't paying for no cab. And I know if you could walk over here 2 seconds, that I knew it wouldn't have took that long to go to wherever. You know, he could barely walk. He could barely talk. Like, whatever drug he done took really took over this man. Even to this day, I don't know. I don't even want to know, because I really was like scared. Like, I never seen anybody come out of themselves and become other people in a matter of switching, clicking my hand. What's this called? Snapping my fingers. I've never seen that. And so I'm like, right. So he's telling me that he could show me how to get there, but he don't know or remember the blocks or how to do this or how to do that. And like I said, he could have been a creep who lured me to his situation and something could have happened. Thank goodness it wasn't the case. So I told the dude, listen, I'm about to leave real quick. I'm about to take him home. Just hold it down. Call me if anything. Boom. So I'm on walking 17 now. It was a fake little maze, but it wasn't hard. I was trying to remember like what I did to walk back, and I retraced my steps coming back. Like I said, this could have ended bad, and I know. We get to the building. I'm like, okay, this is your building. He's like, yes, this is it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So when you got your keys, man couldn't find his keys. It was in his bag. I had to open the bag, look for the keys, found the keys, and he didn't know which key it was to get in. And it wasn't like it was a couple floors of the building. It wasn't like a big building, but so somebody wound up coming out. We was able to get in or whatever, and then I'm like, you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, you sure? He didn't look good. So I was like, all right, come on, let me just take you upstairs. So I take him upstairs or whatever case. He's like trying to knock on the door, whatever case may be. He's using his key. He don't remember which key it was to get in his house. Like, bro, what are you doing? So the roommate winds up hearing us struggling outside, comes open the door to see what's going on. And I'm like, hi, how you doing? I work with him, and he's messed up. He's really messed up, whatever. So he wanted to tell me, like, you know, he's been losing it for the last couple, whatever, which I don't know what was going on with him at the time, but he definitely relapsed. He was doing stuff, and you know what I mean? So I'm like, listen, I don't know about that, but I got to get back to work. I just want to make sure that he made it here safe, because I didn't want that to be on my conscience. I just sent him out into the world to be robbed, jacked, mugged, and all that stuff, because people clearly could see that he was doing something. So he was like, all right, thank you, whatever case. So his roommate just let him, all right, go lay down. Like, let him go lay on the couch. He plopped on the couch. I gave him the key, gave him his bag. Thank you, here you go, whatever. Boom. So now, later on, the next day, or maybe that Monday, or whatever the case, that I came when and my manager and I both was in the same place. Of course, people already spoke and told him, which I already told her that we had to talk, because I already knew people was going to talk and all that other stuff. But I didn't want to do it over the phone. I wanted to do it face to face. So she's like, okay. So she kind of already got the heads up on what was going on or whatever his name be. And I was just like, look, I don't know, but like, I don't want to be the reason of why somebody getting fired. Like, if you're doing something and your parent got to get fired because you were not doing your job, that's understandable. What he did, you needed to get fired. So I definitely understand, because she already, like I said, heard a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know, he really was on something. I had to take him home. I had to take him upstairs. And she was like, yo, which was bad because he was a great worker. She was like, I'm going to have to get rid of him. I said, yeah, like, if you turn a blind eye, it's going to still come back to you that we both know. So we all got to put in the work. We all working. And I cannot be trying to watch you while you working. So it was one of the situations was like, we was upset that we had to let him go, but we had to let him go. But with all that being said, you know, yeah, like he took it hard because he knew the consequences of everything. But, you know, I say all of that to say, you never know what people are dealing with and battling at home and working, or, you know, just coming to school, coming to work, whatever the case may be. And like, I've always been a leader, not a follower. I don't jump on nobody's bandwagon when people start bashing me, because you just never know what's going on. And like I said, I've also been in a situation where like I had to approach a loved one who I suspected was using stuff, and that might be another story time. I gotta think about that. That's just too close to home. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make sure you approach them correctly. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because the whole thing is, if you're gonna approach them, you gotta make sure that you are concerned for their well-being and not like attacking them. Because once they shut you out, that's it. That's it. They're going forever. If they can't feel like they can't talk to you and trust you, which I think that's probably how he felt. That's why he opened up. Like, when he finally let me know, all right, yeah, I took something. I didn't ask what you took. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's bad, but it's just a way about doing things. I might tell that story time just because that story was really deep, and like, even to this day, it kind of like haunts me, because it was scary. It could have turned left a bunch of ways, and you know, being that close, nah, that ain't gonna work for me. But yes, guys, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the story time. I hope you definitely took something positive from it, because yeah, like it was deep. It was deep. In my situation, that was not smart. He could have definitely tried something, got beat up for it, but he could have tried it, and that just would have been bad. real bad.